I don't know, man. It feels really good to get angry and point fingers at people. Be ruthless with institutions. Be brutal against the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. State and local, doesn't matter. Third parties, because they're fucking useless. Be ruthless with them. But be kind to people. I'm going to show you guys a rare miss. Okay? I'm going to show you what you don't do. Okay? I'm going to show you what you don't do as an elected official or as a political commentator, someone who, you know, talks about politics. And that's blame voters. I like Greg. I like his videos. He's got a good eye. But this is a rare miss. And look, I just calls them like I sees them. And this is a big miss.
And this is on you. This is on everybody who voted third party because they couldn't stand either candidate. This is on everybody who sat out because they couldn't stand either candidate. This is on everybody who wrote in somebody else's name because they couldn't stand either candidate. And this is most definitely on the Bernie supporters who switched their vote in 2016 from Bernie in the primary to Trump in the general. And I'm going to repeat those numbers. The number of people who voted for Bernie in the primary but voted for Trump in the general election in 3 key states. Wisconsin, 51,000 of you switched your votes. Hillary lost Wisconsin by 22,000 votes. Michigan, 49,000 of you switched your votes from Bernie in the primary to Trump in the general. Hillary lost Michigan by 10,000 votes. And Pennsylvania, 116,000 of you switched from Bernie in the primary to Trump in the general. And Hillary lost Pennsylvania by 44,000 votes. This is on you.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. Here's something you don't do if you fancy yourself, you know, a leftist or, you know, someone who actually cares about the conditions of working people, right? And I'm not saying he doesn't believe that, but one thing you don't do is just completely negate the actual conditions and that led to that decision, right? There were a lot of reasons people switched from Bernie to Trump. It is not their fault that Hillary Clinton, the most unpopular candidate, the most unlikable, corrupt Democratic candidate to ever run for public office. It's not the Bernie voters' fault that they literally stole the nomination from Bernie Sanders. They took delegates from Bernie Sanders. They did it again in 2020. It is not people who voted for Bernie Sanders' fault that everything that's currently happening is happening. Okay? That's not how this works. You want to blame somebody? Blame the DNC. You want to blame somebody for what's currently happening right now? Blame the Federalist Society. Blame Donald Trump. Blame Hillary Clinton. Hell, Bernie can catch some smoke too. Man didn't go hard enough. Man was too kind to Democratic establishment people. Wasn't ruthless enough against them. But if you think you're going to get people to support progressive legislation or progressive candidates when you're out here being like, hey, people having their rights stripped away, that's your fault. No, it's not their fault. That's bullshit. And this is someone who went Bernie to Clinton in 2016. It's not even the fault of people who vote for Trump, right? They're victims of their own material conditions. I don't know, man. It feels really good to get angry and point fingers at people. Be ruthless with institutions. Be brutal against the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. State and local, doesn't matter. Third parties, because they're fucking useless. Be ruthless with them. But be kind to people. People who vote for Donald Trump are victims of their own conditions. Propagandized from the time they can fucking read to believe in American exceptionalism, in the dogmatic, jingoistic attitudes in regards to the military. But if you don't vote Democrat, then you're a real Nazi. They literally made that argument. If you don't vote for Hillary Clinton, if you don't vote for Biden, then you're voting for Trump. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If the Democratic Party wants to win, then they'll run good candidates with good platforms, with good policies. not another milquetoast neoliberal. Like, this sucks, because Greg actually has really good takes. Actually is able to recognize, like, what is happening in the country and able to communicate that to the public, to his audience. But we got an old man yells at cloud situation with him blaming Bernie Sanders to Donald Trump voters. Is that smart? No. Is it dumb? Yes. Is it a really stupid thing to do? Absolutely. But to say that it's their fault that all of this is happening is fucking stupid. Radical centrists are also part of why the Republican Party is what it is today. Literally, the reason that all of this happened, they had 2 fucking months. 2 goddamn months to prepare and do something from the Democratic side. When this Roe v. Wade draft was leaked 2 goddamn months ago, they had all that time to prepare. They had all that time to do something. And it's people who voted for Joe Brandon who are getting fucked over now because they don't want to do anything. They did prepare a poem and a song. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. We read a fucking poem. Nancy fucking Pelosi, one of the richest people in government, read a goddamn poem and we sang a song on the steps of the Capitol. Great job, Democratic Party. You're really giving people something to vote for. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema watered down a bill that would have actually alleviated poverty. Voted down a bill that would have actually improved the conditions of people. Not entirely, not adequately, but actually, like, put a dent in poverty from a $6 trillion bill to 1.2. I'm going to say that again. A $6 trillion bill got watered down to a 1.2 because 2 fucking Democrats didn't like it. Oh, we're alienating the Republican voters. They have a voice too. They're fucking Democrats and they're saying that shit. Don't come at me with this fucking, oh, it's your fault, Bernie to Trump voters, that this all happened. Fuck off. Fuck off. It's so endlessly frustrating. And the Republican voters would benefit from such programs? Yeah, that's another thing. The people who just straight up went Trump in the primaries, Trump in the general, and then did it again in 2020, they'll all benefit from this shit too. But because, again, they're victims of their conditions, and they're told and propagandized and scared, straight up scared, because majority of Americans are in poverty. Make no mistake, majority of Americans are suffering. And they're being taken advantage of because we have a crippled education system and have for the last 60 goddamn years. We have no infrastructure, no health care. Fucking, there are segments of this country where it's just straight up, like, the air quality is garbage. People are living in their own sewage. And they recognize that establishment politicians don't do anything. They are controlled opposition in the Democratic Party, and they are straight up reactionary fascists in the Republican Party. So out of desperation, they either try and grandstand with a fucking third-party vote and, like, protest against the inactions of the government, or they cling to somebody who's going to say they fix it. That's how right-wing authoritarians come to power. A strong man comes in and says, I can fix it. I alone can do this. I know the path forward. And again, smart to vote for them? No. Good? No. But people are fucking desperate, dude. This is what happens when you have otherwise decent politics, but you have zero empathy. 40 years, it was in 84 when the Republicans and Democrats started cutting school funding. At first, it was after-school programs. Then they started whittling the budgets. Yeah. Starving the beast, as they say. Do you think more Republicans would have voted for Bernie if it had been Bernie versus Trump in 2016 and Bernie voters switching to Trump? I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yeah, me either. And people are not given the opportunity to do that. We have first past the post voting. Whoever has the most money wins. Bernie was polled to beat Trump in 2016 and 2020, consistently in double digits in a lot of polls. Double digits over Trump. But we can't have that, can we?
If Hillary had been able to fill those seats, people who could have babies would still have their bodily autonomy, and we would all have our medical privacy and freedom. This is on you. And
motherfucking Joe Biden is appointing an anti-abortion judge right now in a deal with the Republicans. What do you think? Hillary Clinton wouldn't do exactly the same? Hillary Clinton is worse than Joe Biden. Joe Biden is just stupid and brain dead. They have the exact same politics. Hillary Clinton is just more monstrous. Hillary Clinton would have said, no, we're not pulling out of the Afghanistan deal because it was Trump's idea. If she ran in 2020. She would have said, no, it was a bad deal that Trump struck, and we're going to remain in Afghanistan because work still has to be done. If Hillary remembered Wisconsin was a state and went there, maybe she would have won. Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank God somebody mentioned it and reminded me. The motherfucking guy that he's blaming right now and the people that voted for him in the primaries, Bernie Sanders, actually campaigned in those states for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton would rather go on the fucking View and talk about the hot sauce that she keeps in her purse because, she's just so down with the blacks, and let Bernie Sanders go out there and force him to lie to the American people, because that's what he did in saying that they needed to, or that Hillary Clinton would fix things. He didn't lie in the sense that this is an important election. You can't vote for Trump. He's obviously worse. You have to vote for Trump. Let's not forget this Hillary banger. Happy birthday to this future president. Fuck yeah. What the fuck? I don't know, dude. Maybe people should just listen to Hillary Clinton and Pokemon Go to the polls. At least he said people who could get pregnant. Yeah, I mean, he's progressive.
And this is now what the 2022 midterms are all about. It's not about inflation. It's not about gas prices. It's not about the price of frozen green beans or gym shoes or anything else.
That is true.
It's about bodily autonomy.
That's true.
And medical freedom. This now became the number one issue in the 2022 midterms. And if we don't vote to give Biden a Congress that will potentially help him expand this court and...
What the fuck is he gonna do? We have a majority in the Congress. We have the executive branch. And he's not doing shit. Also, Burley Beers, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. He's not doing shit. What is voting gonna do? We could give him a Supreme Court, if we elected Supreme Court, we could give him a Congress, a Senate, and have every house, every seat filled with Democrats. And Joe Biden would still just need to ask his people if he's legally allowed to do that. If he can. He's not going to legislate from the Oval Office, he says. You see, you just need to vote harder and we're good. There's nothing that voting a majority Congress or majority Senate is going to do. Okay? Now, if they're all progressive, if they're all leftist, if they all actually want to pass an agenda, then yeah, we could do it without the president. But we're also talking about a guy who said if Medicare for all passed the House and the Senate and arrived at his desk, he would still veto it. Many people don't remember that when he got elected, they said, hey, if Medicare for all goes through, since it's overwhelmingly popular and Americans want it in every poll, if that goes through the House and the Senate, are you going to pass it? He said, no. So what the fuck is giving him a Congress and a Senate going to do? What exactly is he going to do with that? There's a whole bunch of stuff Joe can do with the presidency to fight for us. He made it clear from the beginning he doesn't want to. It's not that he can't, he just won't because he doesn't want anything to fundamentally change. Yeah, he's told us time and time again that 1, he's the most electable. Not true. 2, that only he could beat Trump. Not true. 3, nothing would fundamentally change. And 4, I'm here to reach across the aisle with Republicans. His vice president, in the face of multiple mass shootings, when asked, what are you going to do, said, what can we do? This is what controlled opposition is. This is what the rotating villain looks like. And it's the Democratic Party. The ratchet effect is no longer relevant because the ratchet doesn't even need the stopper anymore. It just keeps spinning. So, what are we going to do, chat? What can we do? It's not vote harder, okay? It's organizing. It means starting a union. It means salting your workplace. It means organizing mutual aid networks in your area, in your community. It means joining DSA. I know they're cringe. Yes, they are hella cringe. But join DSA, join SRA, join like contact IWW, Industrial Workers of the World, because get used to hearing this. God, this pisses me off so much. And I like this guy too. That's why I'm so frustrated. Problem is money in politics. Problem is that we don't have any labor power. They could spend all the money in the world, but if they, wow. Sorry, I almost TOS'd. What's cringe about DSA?
If we want to defeat capitalism, we are going to need a party that will organize working people to fight for the demands that we want and to win socialism. Thank you so much.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker?
But what about me? Yeah, thanks, comrade, for that awesome input, comrade.
Against name, chapter, pronouns.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Yeah. This is like right out of COINTELPRO. I know. COINTELPRO, FBI agents in that place were like rock hard, dude. They had a big chub going on. Yeah, we have bigger battles to wage than your sensory overload. I'm sorry. Take it outside. Have a smoke. Please don't use gendered language. Hey, it's English. The whole language is gendered. Fuck off. Point of privilege? Point of privilege? Point of personal privilege? Shut the fuck up. What do you got, Lady Sarcasm? Like, I get it, but not the place. Yeah, like, those are valid. You're valid in your concerns. You're valid in your sensory overload because you're one of those people. But not the time. Not the time. Okay? The meeting doesn't operate off you. I have sensory overload, so why did you insist on being in front of the camera? Yeah, why did you insist on being part of a gathering in a room where there's a bunch of people talking about politics and policy and organizing? It's gonna get rowdy. You're not left enough, so you're not left, okay, thanks, bye. No, it's just like, hey, there's more important shit to talk about than, like, your neuroses. Sorry. Maybe attend via Zoom. Oh, the Zoom meetings are the fucking worst. I hate the Zoom meetings. They're so fucking boring. Wait, what did Morp say? Aries, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. That's why.